As promised last week, I mentioned that I was going to make a video explaining the conditions of the power of attorney. So let's just go over what the power of attorney is again, okay? The power of attorney is a legal document that gives another person the right to act on your behalf. The person that gives authority is known as the donor or principal. The person that receives the authority is known as the agent, the attorney, or the donee. Aside from the fact that the power of attorney can be irrevocable or revocable, the power of attorney can also be general or specific. Now, the general power of attorney is limitless. There are a lot of things you can do on behalf of the person that actually owns the property. But a limited power of attorney is limited to just what you can do on that property. Like, oh, just collect rent, or oh, just develop the land, or oh, just sell the property. That's exactly what the general and the specific power of attorney is. If you have the power of attorney, it can either be revocable or irrevocable. A revocable power of attorney, you can get your claims back. An irrevocable power of attorney, you cannot get your claims back. But you can actually get your claims back with an irrevocable power of attorney. But there are two conditions by law in which you cannot get your irrevocable power of attorney back. First one is if it is coupled with interest. What this means is that if you're a developer and you have a land and you want to develop the land and I have the money, I can develop that land. And until I get back my investment based on the development I've done on that land, I still have the irrevocable power of attorney. And you cannot get the claims of that property back. Is that clear? Like if you have a property and you give me the irrevocable power of attorney, and we agreed as stated in the power of attorney that until I'm able to get back my investment worth back, you cannot get back the claims of that property. No matter what happens, you'll not get back the claim of those property until I have gotten my interest back. That's what it means by coupled with interest. The second condition is if the irrevocable power of attorney was given for a period of time, let's say 12 months. It's usually for 12 months. In most cases are 12 months. If you give me the claims to this property for 12 months, I should act on your behalf for 12 months. You cannot come and get the claims back until the 12-month duration is over. And those are basically the two conditions in which your irrevocable power of attorney cannot be revoked by law. Here are some cases in which you need a power of attorney. One of these is diaspora property management. If you're in Nigeria in diaspora, in Nigeria abroad, and you have some properties back home and you want them to be managed and you don't want to involve your family members, or maybe you even want to involve your family member, but you want it to be strictly legally binding, you're going to have to draw up a power of attorney. And also as the donor, in the power of attorney, you have to state what you want the donor to do. Collect rent, manage the property, maintain the property, sell the property. It has to be stated in the power of attorney. Also, as a Nigerian in diaspora, as you're drawing up your power of attorney, it has to be witnessed or certified by a notary figure in whichever country you are residing in. The second case in which you need a power of attorney is joint land venture development. Now, joint venture is a real estate investment strategy when two or more people come together to develop a particular property. They might have different resources or they might have equal resources. But in this particular case, let's say it's between a landowner and a developer. Drawing up an irrevocable power of attorney protects both parties because the other person cannot go against what the law has said, and if the other person goes against what the law has said, you can in fact sue this person. So if you're the landowner and you've given the developer an irrevocable power of attorney to develop this land, sell its units and collect proceeds, the power of attorney is irrevocable until this deal is completed and the developer has gotten his interest. The third case in which you need a power of attorney is debt security on land. Someone owes you and they give you an irrevocable power of attorney as a collateral for their land. Until that debt is fully paid, the power of attorney is valid. Even if the donor dies, goes bankrupt, or becomes mentally incapacitated, the power of attorney still stands. Now, if you must get the power of attorney, make sure you put it in writing. Don't just say it. Make sure you put it in writing. Make sure it is drawn up and prepared by a lawyer. Another thing is that the power of attorney must be signed and witnessed by the donor and the donor's witness. Your power of attorney must clearly state the power given, both as the donor or as the donee. It is very important to know the power you're giving as the donor and the power you're receiving as the donee. And finally, make sure you register the power of attorney at the land registry. In states like Enugu State, you can register the power of attorney at the land registry. Now, how can you revoke a power of attorney? I'm going to give you 3 ways you can revoke a power of attorney. 1, you can expressly say it. You can just express it and say, I don't want you to be in charge of this property again. That works. 2, you can imply it. What this means is that the right you've given to that person to be in charge of your property, you can start doing it, or you can hand over those rights to somebody else to start managing your property or doing whatever the other person was doing. Now, the third one and the safest is ending it by operation of law. Make sure the revoking of the power of attorney is legally binding. If you don't live with anything, which is impossible because obviously I've been saying a lot of things that you need, but if you don't live with anything, live with the fact that the power of attorney is not a document of conveyance, it is a document of delegation. And as always, my name is Blessing Abraham. This is Real Estate with Blessing. I'll see you tomorrow.